Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I am Nicole and I live here in India. And today I'm with my very good and mostly only friend, Laurance.
Hello.
She hasn't been with me for a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Not
Yeah.
that we haven't been together, but
Together. Not in front of the camera together. It's a little bit different. So today we're going to be watching the most shocking things in India for foreigners.
Ooh.
Do you think we know some shocking things?
I don't know, apart from traffic.
Apart from traffic. It's not that bad, people, right? Like you can manage it.
Some days
maybe.
better than others.
So this is a Max Chernoff video, which, as most of you might know, I did do an interview with Max Chernoff, and I'll go ahead and link that up here right now. That this is going to be a reaction to the Max Chernoff video that gives a little bit more information about my life and my story with personal pictures and some stuff like that. So if you want to see it, please do check the link up top. So let's go ahead and see what he has to say. Now, we ain't no spring chickens like here in India. We've been here for a long time, 16 years now, right?
Yeah.
For you, 18 years now for me.
I was 10 when I arrived.
Yeah, you were 10. Yeah. I was like just
5.
I was like 5. Yeah, like how like I was young, like a child. I was a child when I got here. So let's go ahead and see what he has to say, what the shocking things are for foreigners here. Let's see if we agree. We like to see, like, do we agree if this is truly shocking? We'll find out, I guess, right? If you haven't already, please give me your like, please give me your subscribe, and let's go.
Meet George, a businessman who lived in Africa and Kazakhstan before moving to India to work in financial technology. He shared why foreigners shouldn't trust books about India, how to make friends with Indians as a foreigner, and why India is the best place to start a business right now. I'm Max Chernoff, your insider to Expat Life. Chalo! Can you recall any memorable stories from your 2.5 years in India?
It was maybe 2 months ago. We left a window open in our apartment.
Monkeys.
We are and it is 6th floor. It's not low. And once we came back, we found some nuts on the floor and some like pen, like biting, like someone was biting a pen. What's that? And then we stepped to the office room, my wife's office room, where really the window was left open. And it turned out that like there were traces of nuts coming to the window. And there was another pen sitting outside. So we got to understand that it was a monkey who got inside. Recently,
Okay, so we called it right away. We knew that it would be monkeys.
Yeah.
Right?
I had one 3 weeks ago
She
in
had
my
one?
kitchen.
This is not
The first time. No, it's not.
You have that door that you leave open in your utility, and they
Yeah.
come through the screen door,
Yeah,
and they come for fruit, right? That
They
one
come
time?
from fruits. For this time, I don't know where they came from because there were no fruits. But he did take bananas. The time after that, it took a box of pasta on the
The box
on
of
the
pasta.
table. Took the box of pasta on the roof, and I found the box left open.
On
He
the
clearly
roof.
did not want my pasta.
He did not want your
No.
pasta. That's
No.
too bad, because
No.
it was probably good pasta.
Handmade pasta.
Handmade.
Yes, please.
And he wasn't interested in
No.
handmade pasta. So we have not had monkeys in our house specifically, but we do live close to the area where Laurance lives, and we have had monkeys in our backyard. And it has been such a common occurrence that I have had to teach my children how to potentially interact with a monkey if they run into them in the community. Like, do not look, face like in the eyes, back away slowly, do not run because they will most likely chase you. So there are things here that I never imagined that I would have to teach my children how to potentially react if they come across a monkey. We also had monkeys at our house in Goa. Now these are different kinds of monkeys. These are lemurs or langurs, and they are way bigger than they look. Like from a distance, like when they're close, they are 4 or 5 feet tall, like they're really tall. So I had opened my front door one morning and there was a langur standing on its legs on a tree, and it was eating the tree sap, and it was standing on the ground and eating the tree. And this thing was huge. It was an adult. And I opened the door and I startled it, and it looked at me and it looked like, and I was like, oh. I'm like, okay, it's your tree. And I just closed the door and left. But that thing was so scary. And it was really interesting because in Goa, like they will sit and watch you. And it's like you feel like I'm being watched. Like this feels so weird. And then you would see them in the trees watching. They're not like they have like the macaw, like the macaw, like the monkeys that are here in Bangalore. Those monkeys are really kind of mean and they carry diseases. So you really do have to be careful with them. So monkeys, close your doors, people, even on the 6th floor, and they will come up and say hello.
Monkey family, they came to the area and sometimes they come to the nearby trees to eat some nuts growing nearby. So, I mean, I don't know how the animal just got to the point, because it is really not easy for him to climb up to our window and get inside. And frankly, we were lucky, because usually once the monkeys get inside, they break everything.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, they are like crows. They enjoy bright things. They enjoy gold and so on. Everything in my wife's room was in a perfect condition. Nothing broken. Like the animal just got the nuts to eat and was interested to chew our pens for some reason. That's it.
Very polite and maybe academically oriented monkey. It's amazing. Like you live in the heart of Bangalore. I was at your house last time, and you're basically surrounded by like real nature. How cool is that?
Yes, we like it. This is the reason why we're staying in this apartment. I mean, we didn't expect this monkey guy to come. I've seen him several times after that. I mean, I know who is the visitor.
What's your path to India? Like, why you decided at some point to move to India, not somewhere else?
I had a choice between where to start a project. And this choice was between India and a couple of European Union countries. And it was just the first month since Russian-Ukrainian war started. But definitely on the macroeconomic point of view, it was evident. The impact on the European Union, that it will be really negative, and that's what we see for the last years, how it's going. And definitely I decided that the Indian markets will not feel such tremendous impact like the Europe has, and that India has much better perspective to grow. And frankly, that time it was not evident that India will be leading among the large economies, will be leading in its economic growth. Because China was, after COVID, it was catching up very well. So it was not going down like it's going down right now.
So that's interesting, because I don't think that it was, I mean, for me, looking at the past that or what I know of companies in Europe, of course, the Russian-Ukrainian war has made an impact there. But even before that, it has always been much more difficult financially to start and open a business in Europe. Whether it's in Turkey or some other place that is like Istanbul is sort of up and coming now in terms of places to launch. It's still way more expensive to do it there. And you still get into a lot more things in terms of employee, like restrictions on what you can do and cannot do with employees. So for me, for many years, India has really been the only place where a company would want to come. There are other places. There are, Indonesia's up and coming, and South Korea, and these places are coming up. Philippines now, like for outsourcing to countries, but India, I think by far is number one. And China, like he brought up China, that it is sort of going down now, but China has always been difficult in terms of the government, like in setting up an organization there. I would never, as a, actively try to set up a company in China just because of the government restrictions and what the government has their fingers into there. So I think India has always been a real clear choice. I'm surprised that it wasn't for him.
So, but anyhow, like we were considering only 3 markets, 2 in European Union and 1 in India. So decided in favor of Indian market. And also, I mean, I've lived in some African countries before. And for me, moving from European country into India, it's not a stress, it's not anything bad, because frankly speaking, from, let's say, common life point of view, you can arrange it, you can get accustomed to the local life.
Any advice how to organize your life as a foreigner to be comfortable in India?
First of all, you shouldn't try to to study from the books. You should rely on advice of the people who are already living here, I don't know, for a year, 2 years, 5 years, and so on. First thing, the foreigners should find some expat community and ask those members, because really it is the most reliable way. Yes, expats from different parts of the world, they can have different expectations about some, I don't know, quality of apartments and so on, but still they have more or less proper expectations. Came to the area of Indian market, and also apartments and so on, but still they have more or less proper expectations.
So what I was going to say here is that this is totally true. If you're moving to India and you want to figure out what schools are the best ones. You want to figure out where to live in a particular place, and you want to figure out where to find things. You want to find your expat community, and within the expat community, then you have sub-communities. You have the French community that Laurance is a vibrant part of, and then you and then you have like a German community, and then you have an American community, and all of these things are because like my German friends wanted to know where they could get sausages, and they wanted to know where they could get their broke, their bread. They want these types of things that community might know a little bit more of, and they have great suppliers already. So it's just easier than starting from scratch. So you really do want to reach out to your expat community and then work your way into the smaller subset of communities that you might be a member of. And then apart from that, like my advice as someone who's lived here long term, like if you are going to move here, you really want to make your house a home. Yeah. You want to have that soft, comfortable bed when you come home at night, and you want to have the place set up in a way that makes you feel at home. Mm-hmm. So if it's good bedding, or a nice pillow or a good mattress. I mean, I've heard so many foreigners say, "Oh, the mattresses here are so awful, I can't sleep." But the reality is that there are very good mattresses here. I have one, so you just need to figure out where you can find what you want. There are fabulous places to get amazing bedding, and just, even the types of soap you might use, and the things that just make you feel comfortable. You want that comfort, you want to feel at home, and finding that is so important. And setting your house up to have that for you is a really important piece. And a lot of foreigners don't do it. They make it so that it's just a place to live, but then they can't stand living there. You really want to make sure it's a place that you want to come home and that you feel at home in, right?
I don't know. I was wondering when you were saying that. I don't know. I might also be person to person, but I also like to. I don't read before I go somewhere. I like to experience.
Yeah, and he's saying don't trust the books, right?
Yeah, don't trust books. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You might sleep a few nights on a bad bed until you find the right one, or struggle through 15 different soaps before you find yours. But that's what's fun. Once I
Oh,
bought
it's fun. I don't think it's fun.
many moons ago, the first time I came, I bought cement.
Cement. Okay. What were you trying to buy?
Soap.
Soap. And you bought cement.
Yeah, because you found it in powder at that time.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know, I just picked up a bag.
You thought it was soap and you bought
My
cement?
husband, who was not my husband at that time, came to my house and said, "Why do you have cement here?" Fortunately, I had not used it.
You hadn't used it? You would have plugged up your drains. That's hilarious.
But then that's fun. Yeah, that's fun.
Okay, well, that's
So
fun maybe when
funny.
you're funny. Yeah, it's a funny story.
Yeah,
But
it's a funny
I mean,
story, yeah.
for people
But
that are
that's part of-
moving here, I know, but if you have kids and you have a life, like you might not have the time to go through.
Yeah.
You were much younger then,
Yeah,
right?
that's
You were
true.
exploring,
Yeah,
and I mean, when you're coming here as an adult and you have kids, you really want to make sure that you have a place that you feel comfortable in.
yeah,
You
I
find
know.
your favorite restaurants, you find where you get your favorite croissant, your favorite baguette, your favorite sourdough loaf, and you just find
Yeah.
everything that makes you feel comfortable. You find your food that you like, you find the type of home goods that you want, and you build your home around that like you would anywhere else. But I think a lot of people here think I'm only here for a short time. It doesn't matter, but it really does. Like your quality of life here, even if it's just for a year, you know what I mean? It
Yeah.
really does make a difference.
And they can also advise regarding doctors, drivers, maids. So you can really rely on the other people because they already went via the same journey and they understand how you are feeling in their shoes. So they are open to assist you absolutely for free. They will give advice. Maybe they will recommend some homemates or some assistants or even they can recommend some landlords. Because in Bangalore, it's not easy. You have to go via KYC. It's the best way. I mean, to present your documents, to present your CV, to tell about your company, that the company is reliable, it will not go bust, and so on. Or maybe landlord will ask some extra crazy questions to make a decision in your favor.
Like what?
What are your hobbies? Like, do you enjoy clubbing? I mean, do you drink vodka or not?
So I've heard of horrible situations that people get into in trying to find apartments here, and landlords get all up in your business, like, are you married? And they will not rent to single women, or they will not rent to single men. And it can be very difficult to find a place
Someone who
here.
will-
And that too, then they expect like 11 months deposit,
Yeah.
which I think is crazy, so
I think there is a law now.
is there a law now?
I think.
I don't know, but I think it's very, the landlords here really can get all up in your business. And I think it's a shame. Like, find a good person, you know what I mean? Don't have them talk to you about like make sure they're employed, but, do you have to have 11 months of rent? I don't think
Yeah.
so. Yeah. So it can be a real challenge to find a good apartment here with a good landlord. That's for sure.
Yeah, but they also may be worried that because you're a foreigner, you're going to live without notice. And they
No,
will
but
not
I've heard
care
this
what you-
happening just to regular people too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. Sure.
I see you do this movement with your head, so you definitely been like localized. Any like other habits that you obtained living in India?
I think the only habit which I obtained is not this one. The habit to cross the road in any convenient place. So because some people consider it hectic, chaotic. The drivers, they can drive any direction. So I don't follow it. I don't do it. I follow the rules. But as a pedestrian, I can cross the street anywhere, despite the traffic and so on. Because I understand if I just go to the crossroads, to the traffic lights, and I wait, unfortunately, most of the drivers will not follow the traffic lights. And as a pedestrian, I don't have any advantage once it's my green light.
So that's true. I can cross anywhere. I'm actually very brave when it comes to that. Like, I will cross and look, and my husband is still
mine too.
2 streets behind me. Like, he will like wait. I will cross. I will weave my way in when people are not stopping. But that also gets me in trouble when I go to Europe. One of the last times I was in Germany for work, I was at a cross and there was nobody there, like no traffic at all. But it was not my.
Yeah, it was red.
It was red, and I crossed, and there was one person that was waiting with me, and the look I got from them was like, oh, that Germans are like rule followers. But I was like, there's nobody here. But I mean, it can.
Yeah, but it's also because when you're in Europe, you teach your children to
follow the
light.
rules.
So,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if you don't follow the light, then the little one going by.
Yeah.
My kids would say, hey,
it's red.
So, in the case I can go anywhere if I see a gap between the cars.
Do you have like local friends, Indian friends?
The first answer is yes. The second answer, just one. So this is my former landlord. So it turned out like he rented out apartment in his family house. I mean, he has different buildings and he's renting them out, but this apartment was at the same house where he lives, his wife and his children. He was pretty nice with us. I mean, we had some parties together, we had some conversations together.
With that guy, your friend, do you feel it's like you have some cultural barriers, or for you is pretty easy to get along well with the guy?
I would not say that we have cultural barriers. We definitely have cultural, let's say, differences. I mean, he has his own holidays. I mean, religious holidays. We have our own holidays. But in general, he traveled a lot. He knows the world outside. He speaks great English. He speaks many languages because people here in the South, they usually speak at least 3-4 languages. I mean, educated people. It was really easy for me to get along with him.
So we definitely have Indian friends, and we've been here a long time. But I also have to say that finding them was not easy. Maybe it was easier for you. She's had Indian friends for like 20 years, like that span a really long time.
Yeah.
But you met them when you were quite young.
Yeah, but I have Indian friends who I made after I came back the second time. So I don't know, but the common point of all those friends is that they all lived abroad. Or had a kind of
open mentality. Yeah. So I too have a number of Indian friends, and I have definitely met some wonderful men and women here that I can consider friends. But the majority of them, majority of my friends, I would say, are foreigners, and I think it's just been more difficult. I think it gets too difficult when you're older to meet people. So just as an older adult, it's harder to meet people. And when you meet people at work, it can be difficult to transition from a work relationship into a friendship. And I've done that with numerous people here. But then too, it's interesting because my Indian friends too have moved abroad, or they've moved to another side of the city, and then it's basically like I've never seen them again.
Yeah, abroad.
Yeah, basically abroad. So it's not like they stay any more than the foreign friends have, So has been difficult. I think that has been a challenge living here as long as I have. That it has been a challenge to keep and maintain friendships, and I think it's so important to have good friendships when you're living outside of even in your home country. It's important to have a good friendship, but here, when you're outside of your home country, it really is important to have a good network of people that you can rely on, that you can call at 1 a.m. and say, hey, I need someone to help watch my kid or to do this. And it's difficult to find that, I think, anywhere, but when you are outside of your home country, probably even more so.
Fintech industry is booming, is growing in India. What other sectors do you see that are booming in India, and what business opportunities do you think that are presented now in India?
If someone can set up a proper taxi driving company, so he will be a king, because definitely there is a demand, and we've seen new arrivals. Some couple of new arrivals came within a year. But they don't have proper fleet. They don't provide the proper coverage across the city. That's why, I mean, we cannot rely on them. I don't know whether Uber will improve, whether some other company among competitors will catch up.
So what is your, I mean, I think this might have been, I don't know how long or how old this is, but I feel like Uber is pretty good here now.
Uber.
And Ola.
I don't know. I don't Uber.
I mean, we still get the occasional "where are you going" call that happens all the time. Yeah. But generally speaking, you can find someone to come take you. And I usually book the Uber autos like all the time. Like you were the one that introduced me to Uber Auto. I was like, you can book an auto through an Uber? Oh, game changer.
Yeah, no,
I love autos. You see, I love taking autos.
I use Ola and now I use Eevee.
Eevee?
Yeah.
So I've never even heard of that. That's like, is that a new one?
That's the bikes.
The bikes. So I have not,
they all
the
have
electrical
helmets.
bikes.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
they have
all have
helmets?
for you.
So we were taking
And
Ulus all over the place, but Ulus are like gone now.
Yeah, it's the
Eevee's now the new one.
Yeah.
Fabulous. So all of these different types of transport are great. And I think Uber and Ola are both fairly reliable, particularly in Bangalore. You know, we were in Jaipur recently and it wasn't as you know, they were pretty much like the auto drivers here, you know, where do you want to go? I want extra, you know, but generally speaking, Bangalore has, I think, improved a lot in that. I wish Goa needs like an app. They need Uber, they need Ola. Goa needs to get rid of their taxi mafia.
Let's see. Regarding the other consumer-focused industries, there is also definitely a gap in the beauty industry because there are no, like, let's say, set standards. It's not for the men, it's more for the women. So usually expat women, they suffer a bit once they arrive here.
Do you feel like you've suffered here?
No, I wouldn't say suffer. Let's see how they suffer.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't suffer in terms of the beauty industry when you have like Urban Company and you can have a massage here at your house for, you know, a very reasonable rate. And now not every place you go to can do like a blonde, okay? Which this is totally real. But so not every place can do a blonde and they're not, but I mean, and really, I think the thing that I struggled with, because I had short hair for a very long time and short haircuts, I'd have to go to a man, like a barber, to get a good short haircut. But a long haircut, definitely easily available here.
Yeah.
And I mean, even, you know, most places bigger cities have you put it on your expat group, like, where do I go and get my color done? And people bing, bing, bing tell you this place is good. This place is good. He's good. So, you know, this woman is clearly in the wrong shop. She's in a barber shop. You know, you can tell from like the photos. So maybe she is going to suffer. We'll see.
Because like the local beauty salons, sometimes they are not up to the mark. You don't know the quality of the service they finally delivered until you go and test it on yourself. And you know, the references from the previous clients are not proper as well. It's not because they are fake references. Because if the client is not expecting high standards, so you're getting a nice response saying, I am happy, like it was done well. But for some other girl, it is not done well because she has much higher expectations.
I don't know about that. I mean,
I agree. It all depends on expectations. But
well, it's expectations, but I think if you're asking foreigners, like, where do I get my hair done? We all have fairly high expectations. We know what we want.
It depends. If you ask me, you will be disappointed by the place I'm giving you. Your expectations are not the same. So
I'm going to call out.
If we take you as the reference, then yes, nobody will be disappointed. If we take me as a reference, everyone would be disappointed.
Okay. Well, I have seen countless questions on the groups, the WhatsApp groups that I'm on. Like,
and I don't reply to those.
You don't reply to them. I have replied, and that's actually where I go. Lucy from Black Olive here in Whitefield, Bangalore. She is fabulous. And, you know, there's tons of people that can be referenced throughout many cities. Like if I need a hairdresser in Mumbai, I know that I can contact someone in the Mumbai expat community and get a good reference. So, I don't necessarily believe that this is a huge problem for foreigners. Maybe 10 years ago it was, maybe even a little bit longer ago, but not anymore.
But he's talking about the Russian-Ukraine war.
So it's not, I mean, it's more recent, but I don't feel like this was a big issue recently. And for men, like they go into a salon and they are getting head massages and hot towels and neck massage. I mean, that's 5-star right away. Like, and we don't even get that. So I'd love to sit in the man's salon chair and have my head rubbed for 10 minutes. I think that would be great.
So I know that some foreign companies are looking at this market, and maybe they will gonna expand here to improve the beauty industry opportunities.
So what do you think? I mean, did you find any of this shocking?
Nothing was shocking except that he couldn't find a proper place to get a haircut.
A proper place to get a haircut. One thing about the beauty industry, though, I actually did a video with Palki Sharma. I'll link that up top too. That went into the beauty industry and how there are no regulations or standards in regards to ingredients. Now, that wasn't specifically to India. It was actually more, I think,
Asia?
just,
Asia?
No, it was, I think she referenced the US, and I mean, but it is also India. Like, there are many companies, beauty-based companies here that are putting out, lipsticks and facial blushes and all types of beauty things. And there are absolutely no standards in regards to what they can use. And a lot of times they are using things that they should not be. And it's quite scary for the women that are putting things on their skin. So if you want to see that, please check the video on top. But apart from that, I think, it's easy to get a haircut. Close your doors if you don't want monkeys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
but you learn from experience.
And you learn from experience. But apparently you haven't.
No, I haven't.
All right.
Thanks, my door is open.
All right, people, that's our reaction. If you like it, please give a like. Please give a subscribe. And as always, we love you and bye-bye.
Bye.